Всем привет. Hello, everyone. 大家好。我们很高兴看你。We are welcome you on stage today. Today we have a very big guest from China. It's the CEO and founder of one of the biggest open source platform in China. I hope one day it will kill GitHub, actually, finally.
Hopefully.
Because I actually got an account. Today, Yong Xu have given me this T-shirt with the logo of Gitee. And actually, this is not the only thing I have from Gitee. I also have a Gitee account.
Okay.
And some of my repositories from GitHub were already migrated to Gitee.
Okay.
So the main question, what I really wanted to ask you, how many users you have right now in China?
In China, we have 12 million subscribers. Every day increase 5,000.
Yeah.
And 320,000 enterprise account.
Wow.
Every day increase, every week about 1,000 new enterprise.
Do you have any plans for expansion over the China for Russia or maybe Europe or other countries?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Now Russia is our focus. We have been working with local partners for almost 3 years. So actually we already launched the service, but in a low profile, because if we continue to offer the better price we need a lot of money. Now we are raising capital in order to provide better service. Also, we are going to target the Asian countries, the South Asian country, maybe Arabic, Arabic market. Yes.
By the way, let's make a very small voting. Raise your hand if you know Gitee platform.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. And please raise your hand if you have any GitHub or other accounts in open source.
Wow, much more.
So a lot of people,
potential
making open source, but yet it's not on Gitee platform.
Yes.
Yeah, Gitee actually is a good option for making some mirroring of your GitHub repositories.
Yes.
I'm using this for this purpose. So let's applause once again for Yong Xu and wish him a pleasant talk.
Okay.
Have a nice keynote and thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here to have this speech to share with what we have done in past 16 years in open source area. Last year, it was my first time come to Russia. I delivered a presentation in Smart Dive in summit in Moscow. It's the second time. This time, according to the request of the organizers, they wish me to share more about how OS China in past 16 years, how we build our open source ecosystem in China and how we build the open source infrastructure in China. Hopefully those solutions, because we already have the plan. Also, we have already spent 3 years trying to bring all these platforms into Russia to provide better service for Russian developers. Today I'm going to share my speech in 4 chapters. First, I want to give you an overview of what OS China is doing in open source business. Secondly, we will spend quite a lot of content to talk about how the Gitee is our core infrastructure, how Gitee developed in past 11 years. Thirdly, because now it's AI era, so we have invested heavily on AI platform. So we actually developed a Hugging Face platform. So we also have a plan to introduce this platform into Russia as well. And finally, we want to spend a few slides to talk about how OS China want to position ourselves and the collaboration in Russia with the local partners. Okay. Finally, probably we'll leave 5 to 10 minutes to answer some questions if you have. First, that's what's OS China. So basically, OS China has 5 capabilities. First, we are Chinese GitHub. In order to help us to understand us, it's a public cloud in China. Later on in second chapter, I will spend some time to talk. And secondly, we have OS China is the biggest DevOps tools vendor. So we developed the full lifecycle development tools. So which tools covers Atlassian, GitLab, JFrog, all these tools we have. So I will spend a few slides to talk about. And thirdly, we are the Linux Foundation's only partner in China. So we are biggest open source training institution in China. Fourthly, we are biggest content provider, open source content provider in China. So it's a similar business model with Stack Overflow. Finally, in 2 years, we developed this large model platform. It's a Hugging Face platform. That's our, 5 key business in China. From these slides, I want to share these slides just to help you to understand how our business model evolved. Actually, we started this business from open source information website on 2008. And 5 years later, we upgrade, we start to offer the code hosting platform from 2013. And after 5 years ago, we start to convert the cloud service to the in-house deployed tools. We expand from the code management to project management to CI/CD to quality management. Now we become the tools provider like GitHub, like Atlassian. From 2 years ago, we start to develop the Hugging Face. So you can see we grow up. We start from the content, then we turn to the dev cloud, then to DevOps tools, then upgrade to AI platform. That's our journey in past 16 years. Now, first, I want to share with this the basic foundation of open source China. So it's a open source content provider. The original business model is we collect the open source latest information from overseas, all the websites, and translate into Chinese and published in China to help all the Chinese developers to quickly understand the latest open source technology. Then the programmers start to write their blogs, to answer the questions, like a very classical community. So that's our initial product. Until now, we already have 7 million people, very active subscribers every day to share their information, to write blogs there. So it's the most powerful, most influential open source community now in China. Actually, we launched the Gitee, the code hosting platform from this community because when we started the Gitee, we already have about 5 million, open source information subscriber. And in the open source community, actually, we did several very good things. On the left-hand side, you can see, because in open source, there are over maybe 25 million different open source code. So it's very complete for the open source user. So we choose most frequently used 80,000 open source project, and we categorize them into the 18 different types and put all the index on it, then make it like a library. So once the programmer has some specific need, they can write some keywords, can search, then the system will give them, will list all the similar, open source code with the latest version, because we update them on daily basis. So this is very, very useful right now in China. So many programmers, they come to our website to download the source code, what they need. Okay. On the right-hand side, that's actually the Gitee. We developed, we grew from this open source community. I'm happy to introduce, that's our user pyramids. You can see on the red part, on the bottom line, it's all the free service, like information content, information content source, and free, code hosting platform for the people to study, to work, to share, and then we provide a service for over 300,000, SME. Is they can do their work on their platform, that's for free. Then we provide some value-added service for them. So we convert like over 10,000 paid customers. That's all SaaS customer. Then we go to the mid-tier customer. They start to download our standard product and install it in-house. So this over 1,000, this kind of customer. This means download a free standard product, and then goes to up, then the top tier and the key accounts we serve. We got a few hundreds of them. We serve for financial service, defense industry, energy, telco, all the key industries, all the key customer, our clients. Basically, we provide them with all DevOps tools. By the end of this year, we started this tools business 5 years ago. Now, by the end of this year, we are going to have about $20 million revenue by this year. So we are going to continue to grow up this business. Going forward, we are going to use AI to upgrade all the softwares, make it more, automated. Second part, that's the first part, generally introduce, our platform. Second part, I'm going to introduce how the Gitee's open source, code hosting platform developed. And you see, this is it's a current status. You can see from the day one how we grow from a different angle. So you can see at the beginning, the growth is relatively slower because at that time, all the big giants, big Chinese internet companies, they offered this service. So the competition was fierce. After a few years, then we become more competitive. So our growth become most significant. You can see in recent 3 to 5 years, every year basically we increased 2 million new customers. Why? Because China every year that 12 million people go to universities. In 12 million people, there are about 2 million people. They are new students. They are subject related with computer science. So every year, basically 2 million new customers come to our platform. So I can forecast in next year, end of next year, our subscriber will be 14 million. So, but the active user remains almost same because a lot of people come and some people left and become sales guy, pre-sales guy. They don't touch code. So, later I will talk about this. And also now we have almost 30 million repositories. In all the repositories, about 40% that's open. The 6% is closed. That's some statistics about other, the developers' profile. You can see almost 70% that's male, 20% that's female. Maybe I guess in Russia it's same, but today I think see a lot of ladies. Maybe Russia, the women has a higher percentage to be a programmer. And also you can see the different, statistics. Yeah. Here, actually, our Gitee, we provide a kind of very similar service with GitLab. So you can download the repositories. Also, we developed a kind of a one-click migration. You just click once, then immediately you can import your repository from GitLab. GitHub to our platform. Now we almost in China. One thing I need to mention, here. Here, yes, universities in China, over 2,000 universities. All the key universities. Their teachers and students are using our platform. we have a slogan that leave your first line of code in Gitee. Okay. Now Gitee has become our national level secure and reliable hosting platform because the Chinese government gave us some fund to support us to build a better service to facilitate the technology innovation. Now every day our daily UV is 2.5 million. You know, a monthly user over 10 million. Monthly user is 10 million. Daily push is 150 million. So it's a very busy platform. As I said before, every day we have like 5,000 new users. 20,000 new repository has been created. So now it's about 10% our traffic from overseas. Now it's becoming a little bit more international. That's we already become the only competitor for GitHub globally and also in China. Later, I would talk about in more details. You see, because that's real data. So from in China, we have 31 provinces. You can see from the login ID address, we can calculate, how many, in the real time, how many users are online using our platform. That's one angle to reflect how IT business is booming in each area. You can see very clear in Guangdong, the Shenzhen, Guangdong, they have 15%, programmer logging the system, and the Beijing 10%. Those two parts is most, economically most developed area in China. It's from this chart shows like from the beginning, you can see, before now in China, based on current data, OS China, this Gitee is only 15% of GitHub because GitHub is doing global business. Basically, Gitee is doing Chinese local business. We about 1/8 of it. At the few years ago, actually, we have a very big gap. In China, the mainstream is still people tend to use GitHub, not Gitee. But after recent years, after we continuous development, now the gap become narrow and narrow. And now you can see, the gap is getting narrow and narrow. Now in China, now we have already become more popular than them. This is statistics shows from last year. You can see the yellow line, that's GitHub. The blue line, that's Gitee. From last year, in top 30,000 most active open source project, in China, the Gitee has been more active than GitHub. So we have more users. So this is an indicator saying in China, we become like more influential platform than GitHub. Because everybody knows Huawei is one of the biggest IT company in China. Huawei actually grew all its open source project on Gitee. Huawei, by the way, Huawei is our shareholder. They invest OS China 3 years ago. And you see the Open Harmony, Open EULA, the Manspur, Open Gauss, all their key open source project they put on the Gitee. Every year they pay some service fee to us because we have the biggest open source ecosystem. So their open source project has been growing very, very rapidly, on our platform. So we have very close relationship with Huawei. Also, you can see the biggest project now, open source project in China now is Open Harmony, Harmony OS. Totally now, I think they launched 3 years. Totally, there are 8,000 participants. Total repository is 15 gigabytes. Okay, and even though we give them network bandwidth of 2.5G, which is the biggest, is bigger than biggest project in GitHub. So even though Huawei's daily traffic is only 1.5% of our total traffic. From this number, you can see actually, the Gitee ecosystem is very diversified, is very big, because even the biggest project only accounts less than 2% traffic of the total traffic. I need to mention this, in order to measure the healthiness of the open source project, we work with Q's Foundation. Q's Foundation is a small foundation under Linux Foundation, started by a group of geniuses in Stanford. We use the Q's model plus our research result with some leading Chinese universities and Huawei company. We developed this compass. So the compass, will measure. They collect many data, hundreds of parameters and from the 4 angles, from organizational activities, collaborative development index, community support and structure, activity level, from these 4 key aspects through a kind of algorithm to calculate data. It's the index to show how your open source project healthiness. And Kill, called the compass. This is kind of national level. It's not just a Chinese domestic one. You can go to search this compass link. You can key in your open source project name. Then the system will tell you what's your index. You can use the index, compare with the similar project. You can see which one now is developing and growing better. It's very useful tools. It's very useful. I think soon, with the next time's official launch of our platform here, currently we call GitLab. Probably a lot of people knows. Probably will introduce this compass into Russia as well. By the way, I want to mention something about Gitee DevOps. You can see the Gitee DevOps from the project management, from code management, quality management, CI/CD. In each aspect, we compete. See the bottom line, we compete all the American leading companies, JFrog, GitLab, Atlassian. So we've got a full set of projects. Also, our product has been introduced in Russia. We'll go through in the Russian government registration process, and one of our product already is sold to one of the energy company in Russia. I remember, yes. So this our key product also is our main revenue source of our business. So these are key clients. You can see all the leading banks in China and manufacturing companies and energy, telco, all the security companies, stock exchanges, all our customers. Our biggest customer, for CCB, China Construction Bank, China Merchant Bank, internally they have about 25,000 developers daily working on our platform. So. Okay, the third part, I want to introduce our large model. 2 to 3 years ago, the Hugging Face suddenly become very popular. So, then we start to build our own Hugging Face. In China, because we have a similar situation with Russian, because NVIDIA won't sell the most advanced the GPU card for us. So China, actually, we're trying to build, later I'll say, is NVIDIA free. We want to build an ecosystem without NVIDIA, GPU card. We still can do our AI jobs. That's our main goal. On the bottom line, you see in China, we have a lot of local GPU card manufacturer. They provide maybe as advanced as the most latest model of NVIDIA, but still can be used. Now we spend a tremendous effort to work with the GPU card manufacturer to make all the big models, popular big models, to comparable on their GPU card. Now we have already migrated over 7,000 big models onto this Chinese local GPU card. So it's very useful. It's lowered the risk for the AI users. Also, you see on the yellow part that we put all the useful models, over 7,000 models on it. Also, we put all kinds of industry data, also with some model fine-tuning tools on this. Also, we have we provide a kind of PaaS platform to help them to manage the GPU computing capabilities. Yeah. Also, we developed a very sophisticated, very flexible billing system to help, try to lower the threshold for the developer. Even you spend like $1, you still can use our platform to do your job. So we don't want to make the AI become very expensive, one expensive service now. Yeah. That's our Chinese Hugging Face. It's quite similar. If you know the American Hugging Face, we developed a very, very similar service with them. That's our 4 key, competence. A collaboration of top models, support multiple, chipset, the one-stop AI service, and the AI communities. Now we are, invest heavily on this platform. We have already launched the commercial service for 3 months. So we get some payment. The developer just, scans the code on the screen. They use mobile phone to pay, like 20 RMB, 10 RMB. They immediately can use. We give them certain tokens they can use. Now, by the end of this year, we are going to build 100 servers, over 1,000 GPU cards, this kind of computing pools to support this service. Yeah. Because in China, we have over 10 similar big model like ChatGPT, because the China internet company invest a lot of money on that. Some companies they bought over 10,000, 100,000, NVIDIA latest model GPU card. It's a tremendous effort. They invest $1 billion to buy GPU cards to build our Chinese models. Hopefully, when we launch the service, we'll bring those models to Russia as well. Now, I think in China, all the key industries, they are very active to invest on the AI. They use the AI to do the customer service, to do the consulting, to answer the questions, to assign the works, many vertical applications. As I said, we want to build a NVIDIA-free ecosystem. If NVIDIA won't sell even one card to China, we still can build our own system. So we work with all these local GPU card manufacturer, and also we help them to all the models migrate on those cards to provide the service. Yeah. Also, now we are only partner of PyTorch, because the PyTorch now is replacing Transformer as AI infrastructure. We provide this kind of service, training service. We want to train more and more AI engineers who knows how to manage these AI infrastructures. A lot of demand from big enterprises, because all the big enterprises, they want to build their own AI platform. Finally, I want to talk about what's our strategic position and the collaboration in Russia. Basically, now we are working with some leading hardware and the software Russian local companies. We want to, the idea is that first they want to leverage our presence, to establish Russian local code hosting platform. Currently they call it Gitee. So we will provide our support. We'll provide our source code to them. They make the Russian localization, and based on that, we can help build the Russian, the local ecosystem. Based on that, because of the war, a lot of Western company left, because now China basically we have all kinds of software and the technologies. We want to use this platform as a portal to help the local the Russian developers to have more communications with the Chinese open source ecosystem. You can put your open source on it, and also we give our latest technology and the content to push that, synchronize those content with Russian to save a lot of energy, because we already spent 11 years on this. And also, if you need a specific technology and the software, you can, through this portal, we can bridge you with Chinese local vendors to satisfy your needs. That's our initial, approach. That's also, we have a plan. We want to build, GTS, similar GTI platform. We introduce our platform into Russia as well. Our partners are very exciting after they see our platform and functions. So we can provide a full set of service and the hardware. Have a summary. We just want to leverage our global prospect with a localized approach to fulfill our mission. So our mission is to help and to work with our local partner to maybe have a better, open source and ecosystem in Russia. And because we have, built several infrastructure by, introducing this infrastructure into Russian market, which can facilitate, the development of Russian, open source ecosystem. Okay, that's all my presentation. If you have a question, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much for many numbers and many interesting information that we can get from this talk. I actually got the question. By the way, guys, you can just scan right now this QR code and ask your questions directly to Yong Xu. But before they are asking the questions, I will ask my own question. As a technical guy, I have the only main question. Did you have any serious problems or issues or outages on your platform since it started? So were there any big problems like Gitee was unavailable, not working, and so on? Do you remember such cases?
In China?
In China, yeah. For example, like for several days.
Fortunately, no. Because we got kind of distributed the infrastructure. In China, we deploy our system in 3 different data centers, so they can back up each, because also Huawei wants to have very reliable system, because Huawei's project often being attacked by somebody who knows. So Huawei, in order to protect the Huawei, invest a lot of money. That's, you said, the bandwidth of Open Harmony is 2.5G, which is the biggest bandwidth ever in China. So now it's the anti-DDoS service is well established. So I think
maybe some functional problems.
Yes, I think in history, probably the longest time the part of service stopped maybe for 15 minutes, because
That's
because
nice.
for 15 minutes because the system has been developed 11 years, very reliable, very reliable. At the beginning, actually, we don't have a QA team because we fully rely on the developer.
So
Once
only
developer
developers.
found the problem, they wrote to us immediately.
So you build the service for 20 million people without any QA and testing people.
At the beginning,
Just only
no.
developers.
Recent years, we have. At the beginning, no. Just all the users are our tester.
That's interesting. How big is your team? How big is your development team?
Big the team.
Because why I'm asking? Because when I am thinking about how to make the platform for 20 million users, I would like to say like active users. I would like to say that I need maybe like thousands of developers.
No. Currently, for the Gitee cloud, is the cloud SaaS service, is only 100 people. We actually deployed 200 people to develop the tools business. Yes.
Okay.
Totally,
okay.
the team 300 people.
But how difficult it was to start the platform for you? So because I can imagine you was like a small startup with the like 5 or 6 people.
Yes.
And you were starting like coding and doing this platform. You didn't have any resources, cloud, and so on. And this is the main question that I have.
Yeah. To be honest, first at the beginning we get 5 million RMB sponsorship from Chinese government. That's
It's not much. It's not much.
Yes, not much because
it's not dollars.
Yes, at the beginning we have we start this from 10 people. That's one. Secondly, we start from to be honest, we start from open source. We start from the free version of GitLab. Then we build this based on that. Now I think the GitHub code normal maybe completely changed already, replaced because the node system grew very big. Yes, already.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And we also have a lot of questions, several questions in the chat and several questions in the room. But the last question from my side, what kind of infrastructure do you use? So you have your own infrastructure, your own hardware, or you're using some data centers?
At the beginning, actually, we are trying to make the system simple. We use the Ali Cloud. But finally, because the storage is very high, is very big, finally, the Ali Cloud cannot support. Then we moved. Now we build this cloud by ourselves. We manage by ourselves. Totally, we have over 500 high-performance server in the data center.
We have a question in the room. If it's possible, we can give the microphone.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a very bright presentation. And a lot of people here do have accounts in GitHub or some other service. So as a simple person who at night or in the evening writes personal projects to GitHub or some other platform, should I migrate? Or should I duplicate my work in all of the platforms like Gitverse, Gitee, GitHub? Or should I choose one? Or what would you recommend?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, that's a fundamental question. In China, why you need a Gitee? Because GitHub is they build. We started Gitee 5 years later than GitHub. We're just, to be honest, we're just a follower. As I said, we are just only 15% in terms of the number of repository, number of subscriber. Because in China, if you use GitHub, there are 2 problems. First, Chinese programmer, they don't have as good English level as you. A lot of people, they don't have very good English level. They feel more comfortable to use Chinese software.
Yeah, we already see it in repositories, in Chinese repositories. Even popular Chinese repositories are all in Chinese.
Yes. That's one thing. Secondly, because the Chinese government has a kind of control to access the foreign website, so sometimes the speed can be a problem. They still can access, but we offer much faster service. So I think that's also thirdly, we believe a lot of people go to GitHub. they just for kind of social. It's kind of social.
Social
Actually,
network.
you still work with the people who you know. Maybe your classmates, maybe your middle classmate, or high classmate, maybe university classmate. So they tend to use the Chinese one. So we are a working platform. That's a social platform. I'm not sure whether I answer a question.
And you also
you.
have stars like on GitHub, so it's you get your rating, your reputation,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
new followers, and so on. We have 3 questions in the chat. I need to read them. The one was related with the previous one. So, like, as we are in Russia right now, we cannot not ask you this question. So, how do you assess a risk of being sanctioned by Western companies and countries? Because, for example, Huawei is sanctioned by US government.
You know, what's the reason Huawei invests us? Because Huawei is afraid, you know, GitHub will kick them out of the GitHub. American government.
It happens in several repositories already.
So that's why they invest us. The only term Huawei insists is US China will never kick Huawei out of the platform. That's the only term they need. You know.
Will you kick Russian repositories from?
Because there are some rumors saying, you know, GitHub will stop, you know, the project of IP from Russia, from Iran.
It's already.
Yeah. So that's why Chinese government wants to, you know, have another alternative. You know, wants to be independent. Yes. That's why the government continue support us.
And there was a question about the migration of, you know, issues and Jira's and Confluence and GitHub Wiki from GitHub to Gitee. Because right now you can only migrate the repository without migrating extra information, documentary, issues, tickets, and all the documentary you have in your project. So will you have this API? Because, for example, GitHub provides you an API to download it like as a one bundle, download all metadata. Maybe you can add it to your platform. Do you have such plans?
Oh, I don't know whether they have this. Maybe if the Chinese developer continue to ask this, they believe that's useful, maybe definitely will satisfy them. But I do know in our in-house development DevOps tools business, we provide all kinds of these migration tools. We can, if you want to use by our tools to replace Atlassian product, we can migrate all their data from their system into our system. That's no problem. But for public cloud, maybe we don't see much strong demand so far. Yeah.
Okay, and not the last question, unfortunately. How many times did you change your UI? For example, from the very beginning, you made your UI. With
I think that's an incremental thing because at the beginning, we are complaining, saying your UI is so ugly, very ugly. Now,
is it in Chinese style or not?
Yeah.
Was it from the beginning in Chinese style, like many small icons?
Yeah, very ugly. But I think 5 years ago we have already updated once. Now I said because now our the DevOps tools, this interface much more beautiful, nicer than the public one. I said we should use this node. That's the enterprise style for the developers. Now the developers like the current version, so
Yeah. I also used it. So for me, as a European person, it was not difficult to find a proper button and to press on it. So it's okay.
Yeah.
So you move evolutionary. So you move step by step, incrementally, and
yes,
you do not build the whole platform, the whole startup from the very beginning.
Actually, we are very much like programmer demanding driven. Once you tell what you need, we satisfy you. We just listen. Because our CTO every day spend maybe 5 hours, to chat with all kinds of people, to look at the blog, to see, to get the feedback from the community. We listen to the community.
Okay.
I think that's the only reason why we succeed, why we defeat like Ali, like Tencent. Because all the big companies, they believe that's a request, that's a demand. They do what they think, but we do what the community thinks. That's the difference.
And we have the last question about the things like you have in GitHub Actions right now. So
Yes.
if you know, like in GitHub Actions, there is a GitHub Marketplace
Yeah.
where you can write your own personal like add-on or plugin for GitHub Actions and run it on GitHub platform.
Yes.
Do you have the same, or do you have any plans
Yes,
to do
we
this?
have the same, but this year, well, I think maybe by the end of this year, we are going to upgrade. We're going to because that's a very that will consume a lot of hardware resource. That's why we are a little bit hesitant because that's a free service so far in China. We don't want to, make a big loss on that.
Got it.
Yes.
Let's say once again, thank you for Yong Xu for this great talk and answering questions.
Thank you.
We hope we will see you in Russia next time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And this
Thank
is the
you
end of
very
the
much.
presentation.
Hopefully, we will launch our platform soon, and everybody will be our good user. Okay.
Do not forget to put your feedback and give your marks to this talk. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.